I just watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, and I have got to say, holy shit, what a difference a movie can make. I mean, come on. This movie brings to mind one word, and that is redemption. Talk about a movie that was so shitty, like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1, where all the characters just were ridiculously stupid. Everything that was written made absolutely no sense, and it had no storyline, and God, did Winnie the Pooh and Piglet both look ridiculous. Like some men wearing a Spirit of Halloween costume mask, and that is about it. Even the kills in that movie weren't even very good, but boy, does Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 bring in a new, fresh breath of air. This is probably the biggest swing I've seen from one movie to the next in quality and amount of effort put in. I'm not saying they didn't put effort into the first movie, but boy, can you tell there's a huge amount of difference in this one. And that probably comes from the writer, Matt Leslie, who did Summer of '84, which is a pretty popular horror movie. I think it came out in 2018. I liked that movie quite a bit. I wasn't doing reviews then, but it was a good movie. And when I saw he was writing for this one, in my head I was like, well, this has got to be better than what they had before. And then the trailers come out and you see how it looks and you see the design of some of the characters, and you can just tell that they had a little bit more effort, love, and heart put into this movie. I mean, that is one of the best things I can say is these character designs. We get Winnie the Pooh, who looks kind of like a bear. Not a doofus with some blood or snot dripping here and there. No, this looks like an actual bear's head with hair and bloody teeth. And then you get Piglet, who doesn't look like he's wearing a boar's head mask that was from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game. No, this time he looks a lot like a butcher. And then we get the additions of Tigger and Owl. And that is my first set of pros when you're watching this movie. I mean, each one of these characters kind of gets their own fun. They get their own things to do. And each one has their own flavor or style. And you can tell these people when they were making this movie or writing it, when they were doing these characters, they were playing homage to 80s slashers. Because you have Winnie the Pooh, who kind of reminds me of like the Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees character. He's stoic. He's not going to talk a whole lot. He's just there to get his kills in and get the F out. Then you have Piglet, and kind of the forgotten one in this movie. I do feel like Piglet did not get enough attention. And I mean, I kind of understand the other characters kind of feel a little more iconic in this moment. But I do wish Piglet had gotten more love. But he does get his own little section. I just feel like he's the forgotten child. Then you have Tigger, and Tigger reminds me kind of Freddy Krueger. If you saw the one clip that they let out, you can see that when he's doing his kills, they are very playful. He's having fun with it, and he does like to use that famous Freddy Krueger word, bitch. Yes, and you can hear that in that little clip, but it is what makes him fun. It's a big addition. And then you have Owl, who kind of looks similar to the Jeepers Creepers guy in design a little bit, but, you know, still looks like an owl. And he is wise. So when he's going to kill somebody, he's going to tell them all about it. And he monologues, which is not usually good for a killer in a horror movie, as we know, because that's when they end up getting their comeuppance. But in this one, it makes it a lot of fun. And that is the one thing, is it is a fun movie. It's only, I think, 85 minutes long, so it's less than an hour and a half. And there's not really a dull moment. In the first movie, if you watched it, the beginning with the art and stuff there, with the drawings, that was fun. The end of it had its fun, but in the middle it really dragged ass and didn't have a whole lot going on. This movie doesn't quite have that pacing issue. I will say that the pacing in it could be better. That's one of the few things that I would say is bad about this movie in a sense. And there is a lot of storytelling in here, and that is one thing I wish there was a little bit less of. I know in our horror movies we want really good storytelling, but in this one, the way the movie was going and the way it was feeling, like it did not feel like it needed to have all that storytelling or added drama going into the movie. So it kind of throws the tone off a little bit, but overall, this is a fun, playful, brutal horror movie. The kills in this movie are a ton of fun. You get some real graphic, you get some real gory. They hit you right in the mouth as soon as the movie kicks off, and they make sure they keep hitting you in the stomach all the way through. And all of it, for the most part, is practical, which is exactly what you should be doing with a horror movie. Practical effects always look better. And CGI has no place in horror movies unless you're adding maybe a little bit here and there to high definition up a scene or a kill. But for the most part, you should go practical. And they do. And the practical look of these kills is awesome. And the brutality of it. I've seen a lot of people say that it kind of reminds them of Terrifier 1. And I do have to agree with that. The kills are a low-budget horror movie like Terrifier was also. So you're going to get practical and you're going to get blood and you're going to get gore. But when they're done right, they look really, really good. And this movie definitely found the right team to do their practical effects. I like the fact that they do use the story to build a little bit more lore. They build more of the world around it. And I love the fact that the first movie did so bad that to like retroactive that in this movie, what they decided to do was say that the first movie is a film within this film. So it's kind of like a stab inside of a Scream. So it's similar to that, and that's the way they were able to get out of that horrible looking outfits and how they could move into these new special effects, the practical effects, all of the application for makeup and everything they did to make these characters actually look good. The one big giant downfall for me in this whole entire thing was just a little bit of CGI. And the CGI, when you see it, you see it. I mean, even in that one little trailer clip that they show you, you can see the CGI there. It's Tigger's tail. And it looks similar to PlayStation 1. Maybe PlayStation 2 because they had circles and not just triangles. But still, it is that bad of CGI. And I just wish that they didn't do that. I know they want to have Tigger's tail doing its thing. If there was a way they could have practically done that, that would have been awesome. They didn't have it. Maybe it wasn't in the budget for the stuff they were trying to do because it was low budget. But overall, my thoughts on this movie was, what a hell of a movie. A way to make a stand. And a way to make it so that when the new movies come out, you got Bambi the Reckoning, you've got Neverland Nightmares, Pinocchio Unstrung, and then we're going to eventually get that whole Poohverse, Monsters United. And that is kind of, now I feel like I'm a little more excited to go see Bambi the Reckoning. And I'm really, really, really excited for Pinocchio Unstrung. I have been waiting for a fucking Pinocchio movie to come out since Pinocchio's Revenge, which was not very good, but it was okay. But still, there is so much you can play in this universe of children's tales and have a blast with it. And that's what this movie does. It does it right. It's low-budget horror done right. It's fast-paced, lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of fun kills. Don't over-embellish the story too much. Just keep it light and keep it fun. You don't have to have an over-convoluted story for people to like your horror. It does not have to be that difficult. And this movie teeters on that a little bit, but for the most part, it's 85 minutes of fun, blood, gore, and just a good damn time. So, rating this movie, I would give it 3.5 out of 5. No, it's no masterpiece. Yes, it has room to improve. But overall, what a damn difference from one movie to the next that they made. And this is actually worth your time to go out and see.